Hey, what is up, mortals? It is I, Xavier PC here with a new video for you. Welcome to part 5 of What If Izuku Had a Berserker Quirk. I just want to greet you guys by just saying sit back and relax, you're in for a treat. So we begin. A little bit after Midnight walked away saying she quit being the announcer.
Well, that was unexpected, but the show must go on. So let's spin the wheel and see what the tiebreaker will be.
An awkward pause later.
I forgot we don't have someone to spin the wheel.
President Mike gets out of his viewing booth and goes down to the stadium.
Arm wrestling. Should be pretty simple on how to win this. Get your opponent's hand to touch the table.
Now instead of President Mike, the referee is now the pro hero native, as President Mike would be tired from running all the way to the field and then back to his announcer booth with the racer head. Cement Toss then made a table for Kirishima and Aoyama to arm wrestle on. Kiri hardens his hands and smashes Aoyama's hand through the cement table, destroying the table and Aoyama's hand.
Well, that was a quick compared to what Midnight had to go through. Anyway, the winner of this match is Ichiro Kirishima. The next fight is Denki Kaminari versus Ibara Shiozaki.
The battle begins, and Denki charges his electricity and uses his indiscriminate shock 1.3 million volts technique. So, to protect herself, Ibara simply turns her back to Denki and commands her hair to create a shield of vines to protect her from the shock. Denki, having fried all his neurons, enters his dumb state, and Ibara counterattacks by sending vines at him. The vines wrap Denki up and hang him over the stage, immobilizing him.
That didn't take long either.
President Mike turns away from the mic and says,
"Why do all the fights I commentate over end so quickly?"
He then turns back to the mic and said,
"The winner is Ibara Shiozaki." The next fight is Ibara Shiozaki versus Momo Yaoyorozu, which is quite unfortunate for her, as she just was in a battle.
Once in the arena, Momo creates a machete to cut through the vines. Ibara strengthens her hair, thickening her vines as Momo tries to cut through the dense vines. The machete Momo created begins to crack and bend as it chips with each new swing. Momo creates and throws a grapple net, as Ibara sends vines to trap Momo, making both girls unable to participate, leading to a tie. In the background, Midnight can be barely heard yelling,
"What is with this year's students and tying?"
Native spins the wheel to determine the tiebreaker and lands on a book report. Momo and Ibara have to write a book report on a historical book of their choosing, and the report will be judged on how historically accurate it is. So Ibara, being a strictly religious Christian, decided to write her book report on the Bible. And Momo, being Momo, wrote her book report on an entire history book series called Horrible Histories. Due to the accuracy of Horrible Histories, Nezu and David Shield declared Momo the winner after 2 hours and a 400,000 worded report on the inaccuracy of the Bible by Nezu, who then made a copy and personally assigned her to write a 10,000 word book report on it for the following week.
The next fight is Honta Sero versus Ichiro Kirishima. Now, we all know that paper covers rock, but does tape? It seems only this fight, or a changed version of rock, paper, scissors can settle that question.
The fight starts with Kiri hardening his body and digging in his feet as Sero tries to immobilize him by tying his feet together, but fails as the cement that Kiri had dug into holds steady and doesn't break, allowing for Kiri to grab the tape and drag Sero to him before trying to knock him out with his hard fist. Before, Sero cuts the tape and shoots more tape to pull down the arm as to miss his face, accidentally making Kiri hit him in the crotch, causing Sero to miss his next tap shot as he fell to the ground, but still fortunately tied up Kiri's legs right before blacking out from pain, making them tie, as they were unable to continue fighting simultaneously.
Well, looks like we have another tie. Let's hope Midnight isn't still watching the event.
We cut to Nezu's office, where the sports festival plays on the TV as Nezu comforts a hysterical Midnight as he attempts to stop himself from laughing because of the chaos before Midnight turns to him and says through some distressed tears, "Why are these kids cursed to only tie when they fight? I had to stand there and watch the explosive angry Pomeranian and the rich girl with no confidence fight, then tie 5 consecutive times before even one of them won." After Nezu explains that the reason they always tie when fighting is because of how good Aizawa is as a teacher for them, if she is frustrated by this, she can talk to him about it. We then transition back to the sports festival, where the tiebreaker for them is a competition of weightlifting between Sero and Kirishima. The competition is set up by having the strongest heroes carry weights from the UA weight room, as well as cement toss, making giant cinder blocks in case more weight is desired. Kirishima hardens his arms and hands, and thus is able to lift 3,000 pounds, as he doesn't have to worry about injuring himself, while Sero is able to lift 3,208 pounds by using his tape to make a pulley system, by wrapping his tape around the weights he is trying to lift at 3 different points and pulling on his elbows to lift the required weight to beat Kiri.
It seems my rock, paper, scissors joke was more accurate than I thought. Hontasero is the winner of this fight. Now, let's go to a break, so that the competitors can have a chance to rest before the final fight, before we declare the placements and hand out the medals at the ceremony.
This video is sponsored by Skillshare. With the services Skillshare provides, you can get access to many in-depth tutorial videos on basically anything you want to learn. Each class that they have is bound to help you with your creative endeavors. Do you want to learn how to make videos like this one? Do you want to learn how to write scripts or edit audio? Skillshare has you covered. And with our link, you can have a 14-day free trial. So what are you waiting for? Click the link now and get a 14-day free trial worth of classes, free. Link in the description below.
With that break for our advertisers over, let's get to the final battle. Hontasero versus Momo Yaoyorozu. This year's Queen of Battle versus the sticky man who lifted over 3,200 pounds. The ability to make anything you know versus an unlimited supply of all types of cellophane tape.
The fight begins with Sero sending tape at Momo, and Momo creating a flamethrower and burning the tape before it can get too close. She then makes a blunt sword that looks similar in style to the legendary sword Kusanagi no Tsurugi to attempt to knock out Sero without injuring him too much. After knocking out Sero, Momo is declared the winner of the final fight and moves on to the medal ceremony.
The winner of the final battle, the modern-day Joan of Arc, Momo Yaoyorozu. Now, let's get to the medal ceremony, where our very own symbol of peace, All Might, who is here to hand out the medals for this year's.
As President Mike said that, All Might arrived with the medals, yelling as he landed, "I have brought the medals here!" All Might walks over to the podiums and presents the bronze medal to Bakugo, who is visibly moping. "Please don't despair, young Bakugo. There is always tomorrow. Even though you may not have come in first today, doesn't mean you won't be a great hero someday. I, of all people, know that, so be proud that you got as far as you did, and be glad that the only way you could go with your talent and enthusiasm is up."
You should know heroes don't get second chances. You should know that, All Might. You're the #1 hero. I failed. And that's that. Now please hurry this up. I don't deserve to be here.
All Might then gingerly moves on to Momo to give her medal and some advice. "Young Yaoyorozu, I know that you don't have much confidence in your capabilities, but look around you. You won the silver medal for this event. You, against the odds of 160 other students, who all had equal odds of winning. But you were the only one who could get here, showing just how powerful and how great you and your quirk is. So you have nothing to worry about, as if this and your test scores are to be believed, you are one of the best, if not the smartest students in your school year. No one in the staff understands how you were able to break free of Shinzo's quirk controlling you. Even Principal Nezu, the smartest being alive, is still confused on your ability to resist. So that has to count for something too." After that brief conversation with Momo, he then went to award the gold medal to Izuku. "Your quirk is quite powerful, as shown in this festival, but what's clear from your actions in the USJ, and the fact that in your 11 years of you having a quirk, been in the hospital for feeling injured but not being it, because of your quirk for 7 years, when you combine all the hours, days, and weeks together, is that you need a better sense of self-preservation, as if you pass out in battle, it will make you vulnerable, which is not a good situation for any hero to be in when trying to help." After the end of the award ceremony, Izuku and Bakugo start to walk home. Izuku gets surprised by his mother standing at the exit along with his father, Hisashi Midoriya, who upon seeing Izuku would go in for a hug before Bakugo destroyed the sweet moment by saying,
Oi, Auntie Inko! What's the crocheted old man with a red ivy leaf on his clothes?
"He's Izuku's father, Katsuki." With that, Hisashi meets his son, and his son's childhood best friend Bakugo, Katsuki. Hisashi had brought Canadian maple syrup and detailed notes on every Canadian hero for his son due to his son's love of heroes. Deku, upon meeting his father after hearing of him, he was both excited as he wanted to know everything about his dad and disappointed as his mom described his dad as looking similar to him, and now he is worried about how he looks. After this interaction, Izuku, Inko, Izuku's dad, and Bakugo started walking home, talking as Izuku starts to drink the maple syrup, like he was a natural-born Canadian, and gets to know his dad after only knowing him through stories. And even though it was clear some of the stories were embellished, and some were made up to make him look like a saint, others were 100% true, and this made him more interesting to know without his mom's rose-tinted glasses. Bakugo starts to question Izuku's dad about why he only came home now. Why did Izuku not know him? And what his quirk is, too, which Izuku's dad responds. To answer your questions in order, I was overseas for work in Canada, and only got time off now, as not many villains are currently actively doing anything, so it's not too dangerous for me to leave Canada. Izuku doesn't know me, as I had already left before even Inko or I knew that she was pregnant, and so I was already in Canada when Izuku was born. And my quirk is fire breathing, but if you're wondering where Izuku's quirk came from, the quirk Izuku got was passed down from one of my ancestors on my father's side to Izuku, with this ancestor being from Norway, about 1600 years ago, which is about when Vikings existed. After he finished answering Bakugo's questions, the group arrived at the Midoriya house, and Bakugo left to go to his own home. That is, next door, so that the Midoriya family could spend some time with each other before Izuku's dad had to go back to Canada for his hero work. Thank you all for indulging yourselves in all this information thus far. I hope you enjoyed it. Now, there are a few more things I'd like to go over before the video ends. Firstly, I'd like to thank our patrons, BD Flames, Ethan Davis, Terry Chills, Shifter Meals, Adam Zagel, Zill, ZaveBeat03, and Joshua Phelps. Secondly, I'd also like to thank all of our YouTube members, Toy Acosta, Rob the King, Sith Lord 906, CF2364 and Knuckles, Rimu Tempest, Angel Juarez, Donald C. Stewart, Bryant Greer, and Demonized Fox. Thirdly, if you're in the mood for some great storytelling, We the Celestials has you covered. Our We the Celestials My Hero Academia and Naruto What If channels retell the story of their namesake anime with a twist? Check it out if you're interested. Fourthly, on behalf of We the Celestials, I'd like to thank everyone involved in today's excellent content production. Their details can be found in the description below. Lastly, if you're interested in what we do here at We the Celestials, I'd like to extend an invitation to join the team. The only caveat is that we only accept members from 16 years old to join our crew. You can sign up for whichever category fulfills your interest by joining the recruitment Discord using the link in the description below. We're always looking for members to join us. Well, that's it from us for today's video. So thank you all for watching and have a great day.